class, today we're going to go over one of the problems that a lot of you seem to have trouble with, and we're going to go over it together. So the problem is, Myron and Jane are working on the same set of homework problems. Myron has finished 7/9 of his problems, and Jane has finished 2/3 of the problems. Who has finished more of their homework problems? Show your work. So we're going to read this question again, and we're going to see what is this question really about and what kind of important information can we pull from this question. So Myron and Jane, I want you guys to read it with me also. Myron and Jane are working on the same set of homework problems. Myron has finished 7/9 of the problems, and Jane has finished 2/3 of the problems. Who has finished more of their homework problems? So, some important information that we need to pull from that is Myron has finished 7/9 and Jane has finished 2/3. And they're working on the same set. So their homework problems are the same. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to make 7/9 and 2/3 equivalent fractions. And we learned about that before, but we're going to go over that again today. So in order to make 7/9 and 2/3 equivalent, they need to have the same denominator. And remember, the denominator is the number on the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to write 7/9 and 2/3. Now in these fractions, the 9 is the denominator and the 3 is the denominator. So in order to see which one is bigger, or which one, whether Myron or Jane has finished more of their homework problems, we're going to make these equivalent. Now, we have 7/9 and 2/3. So what we need to do is we need to think, does 3 go into 9? So we can count by 3s, which would be 3, 6, 9. So what we can do, if 3 times 3 is 9, which would make our denominator the same, then we would also need to multiply the top number by the same thing we multiplied the bottom number by. So since we're going to do 3 times 3 to get that to equal 9, we're going to do 2 times 3. And then that just turns it into a simple multiplication problem. 2 times 3 equals 6. And 3 times 3 equals 9. So now we have Myron has finished 7/9 and Jane has finished 6/9. And remember, we got the 6/9 by making the 2/3 equivalent to the 7/9 by multiplying. So now that we have equivalent fractions, we are going to look at their homework problems. So this is Myron's homework problems and this is Jane's. And remember, they have the same exact set of homework problems. So if Myron finished 7/9, 7 out of 9 homework problems, we're going to circle 7 homework problems, 7 out of 9. So that was the fraction that we were given for Myron. And let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 9 homework problems, but Myron has finished 7/9. And then we're going to move on to Jane. So after we made the fractions equivalent, we saw that Jane's 2/3 was also equal to 6/9. So let's circle 6 homework problems. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6/9. And we're going to write that on here as well. So we have Jane and we have Myron. And we see that Myron did 7/9. Jane did 6/9. So looking at this set of homework problems, you can see who has finished more of their homework problems. We have 7 circled on Myron's, 6 circled on Jane's. So Myron has completed 7 out of 9 homework problems, and Jane has only completed 6 out of 9. So based on all of the work we just did, which was making our fractions equivalent, and then determining how many homework problems they actually completed, we are able to answer the question and say that Myron has completed more homework problems than Jane because he completed 7 out of 9 and Jane completed 6. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you.